Willing to join the picket?
Willing to join the picket.
If you are, come over here.
Come over here.
And we need you.
And we need you.
Yay!
Yay!
So we have people out at a bunch of different buildings right now. We have people up at the Rockefeller Center. We have people at Paulson and Company. We have people at Pfizer. We have people at Disney and ABC. We have people at News 4, Citigroup, Chase, Bank of America, and HBC. And the Post Office and Sotheby's. And a couple other labor pickets that started at 7:30. So not so bad for a rainy May Day kickoff, eh? We've heard that it'd be good to have some more people go over to the Chase Bank area around 270 Park. And part of the thing about these pickets is that there's people at 270 Park and then like 320 Park and 399 Park. Right, there's a bunch of buildings all along Park, just like sort of up on 6th Avenue. News Corp, McGraw-Hill, HBC, right there, these sort of zones. So we're going to send to Chase. We got a lot of people here. Is there a second one that could use people? Or you all sort of head that way, or head in the direction and join the picket that you want. So 47, who would like to go to the Chase Bank at 47th Park?
Hey, where are you? I have a suggestion.
So maybe you guys could take a team if you want to go to Chase.
You see me? Okay.
Who else wants to go to Chase? Maybe just go gather with them.
Steve, over here.
And then we'll see if there's another spot.
How many choices are there?
Well, there's a lot of different. Oh, Sotheby's. Hang on, there's a little. Come on in closer. Come on in closer.
If anybody wants to go to Sotheby's, we've got members who have been locked out of their jobs up there for 10 months now. Sotheby's is the auction house, and they sell artwork to the wealthiest people in the world. Tomorrow night, they're going to sell a painting for an estimated $80 million. So we have an established picket line with union members up there. They'll be there till 12 o'clock. If you want to stop by, I'm sure they'd love to have some support. You do union chances. It's a regular union thing, and it's a full-on established picket line.
So far, the ones that are out are Bank of America.
I don't know if it's
Sotheby's, anyone wants to go to Sotheby's? Over here.
I'm going to stay here a little longer and send my feed.
Okay, so that was
Yeah, and just stop at
that was Sotheby's.
You know?
They're a little bit further. Anybody want to go to Sotheby's? All right. So where do y'all want to go?
General feed because they're going to do what they've done where they just.
You can go to any of you. So first of all, you can go get a map. All the things are on it, and you can self-organize yourself and go, or you can come closer and collaborate with me about what you're fancy. All right, what do you guys want to do? So the options right now are News Corp, Chase, Bank of America, HBC, Pfizer, Disney, Post Office. Right, so there's a whole bunch of stuff. Both of these areas.
You said Chase needs the most support right now.
They called in and said they'd like some more time.
Which is getting the most attention?
That's Murdoch.
47th Street! 47th Street! That's only 5 blocks!
That's only 5 blocks.
Who can go to News Corp?
Who can go to News Corp?
All right, come on over here, News Corp team!
Let's go.
Come on over, go to News Corp. Evil media conglomerate!
All these news people.
News Corp!
Because we're like members.
News Corp here! News Corp here!
We're like the Good seeing all this. Yeah, good seeing all this.
Yeah, your press liaison. Yeah. What's going on? Who do I talk to? I mean,
All right, so the bad
Yeah, so I know.
So why don't you, does anybody know anything about News Corp?
Yeah. Fox is evil.
They got a chance when we get more.
What do you need to know?
Well, we can just go Fox Live.
Yes, here we go.
I said, what can we rhyme with Rupert Murdoch?
Anybody else want to carry it down? I got the bagel.
All right, go forth and picket loose.
y a tener energía para seguir gritando todo el día, porque esto se pone bueno. Este es un día histórico de la unidad de todos y todas las trabajadoras. Así que ¡viva el Día Internacional de los y las Trabajadoras! ¡Viva el Día Internacional de los Trabajadores y las Trabajadoras! ¡Viva el Día de los Inmigrantes y las Inmigrantes! ¡Viva el Día de los Inmigrantes y las Inmigrantes! Esta es la Plaza Union Square de los inmigrantes y las inmigrantes. Va a venir mucha gente, así que a prepararse, a calentar los motores y a sacudir Nueva York.
Happy International Workers' Day to everybody! We've got a wonderful program for us today. From now until 4 p.m., the May 1st Coalition has a list of fantastic speakers from grassroots organizations all over the New York area. And then from 4:30 to 5:30, we have a united rally with Occupy Wall Street, labor unions, and other immigrant rights groups. At 5:30, we will be marching off down Broadway to Wall Street. Let's practice some chants before we start. All right? The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
En español, el pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Que se escuche en Washington, en la Casa Blanca. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. ¡Viva el Día Internacional de los Trabajadores y las Trabajadoras!
Our first speaker is from the Transit Workers Union, my brother Charles Jenkins. Give him a round of applause, please.
Come on, give it up! Happy May Day! International Workers' Day! First, before we start our 2012 Workers' Celebration, a moment of silence for the horrific tragedy in the Bronx. This Saturday, our hearts go out to all of the members and that family that was killed and those that survived. A moment of silence, please. Thank you so much. In the name of celebration, in the white name of workers' struggle, it is May Day. We're on the streets of New York. Those of us that have been left out, those of us that have been deported, those of us that can't find a job, we stand united for the 99% in this country. We have a message. The 1% need to get out of town because the 99% is taking over Wall Street. We march in the name of justice for an American born and for the undocumented worker. We march in the name of Trayvon Martin. We march in the name of Ramali Graham.
Yes, we do.
Workers criminalized against a repressive system. We're here to defend workers. Whether you're in a union, trying to get into a union, documented or undocumented. cause, one call of justice for the working class. That's us, the 99%. Let's get ready, it's May Day!
A ver esta, de norte a de este a oeste, ganaremos esta lucha, cueste lo que cueste. ¿Ya? Pues tomaron desayuno, parece que no tomaron desayuno. De norte a sur, de este a oeste, ganaremos esta lucha, cueste lo que cueste. De norte a sur, de este a oeste, ganaremos esta lucha, cueste lo que cueste. ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede!
Sí se puede!
¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede!
Our next speaker is Khalil Vasquez from the Revolutionary Student Coordinating Committee. They are an organization of students and youth based in the City University of New York, the largest urban university system in the U.S. CUNY, what up? RISC organizes working class and oppressed nationality youth and students to fight against the white supremacist education system. RISC demands the seizure of CUNY by oppressed peoples as reparations for slavery and colonialism. RISC fights for all access to a liberating education for oppressed communities. Give a round of applause for Khalil.
¡Vivan los jóvenes y las mujeres!
Thank you. Gracias, everybody. Today is May Day. It is International Workers' Day. May Day is a celebration of blood. Historically, us, the working masses, have bear the burden of this class struggle. For those who create the wealth but do not work. In 1886 in Chicago, May 1st, workers struck for the 8-hour workday and for the weekend. They were met with state repression. Every time we clock out those 8 hours, every weekend we get to relax has been paid for in blood. Let's never forget that today, American imperialism oppresses billions of people abroad. Whether it be with uranium bombs or free trade agreements, the neo-colonized working masses, we hang on to scraps. We have millions of women oppressed as sex workers for corporate businessmen right down there on Wall Street. We are faced with ecological destruction and over 1 billion people without safe water. This is all in the name of profit. Here in America, third world people come and immigrate and die trying to get here for a better opportunity. What they don't realize is that this opportunity was stolen. It was stolen by American imperialism. Our tax dollars have been used for corporate welfare and for American imperialism. Massacres in Afghanistan, Israeli expansion and the genocide of Palestinian peoples, occupation of Iraq, the bombing of Libya, and Predator drones over Yemen and Pakistan. This is what our tax dollars fund. Yet here, domestically, corporations that lay off workers, that destroy the environment, no, these are people under the law, without the consequences, of course. But our problems are not only economic. We must recognize that national oppression is the basis of America, whether it is American imperialism abroad or oppressed internal nations right here in these borders, like the Southwest, which used to be Mexico, right? Like the Black Belt South. Because the destruction of the Middle East must be repaid for. Because the indigenous lands have never been returned. Half of Mexico was never returned. Because the U.S. still holds Hawaii and my homeland of Puerto Rico, but still a colony of the U.S. Because 300 years of free labor of black people and 100+ years of feudal sharecropping was never returned or reimbursed. I'm talking about reparations. Reparations is not a sorry. It's not a sorry for colonialism, nor is it a sorry for slavery. It's not a sorry for genocide either. It's more of a thank you. Thank you for building our our civilization, because the oppressed peoples of Asia, Africa, and Latin America quite literally built Western civilization. But we reap virtually none of the benefits, don't we? We gotta put national liberation on the agenda for the oppressed nations inside American borders. Today, as International Workers' Day, I will quote, "Labor with a white skin cannot emancipate itself, where labor with black skin is branded." Karl Marx. Subjugated third world peoples in general, but black people in particular, are profitable. Black people have been big business since slavery. And today the prison industrial complex is big business. The war on drugs, it was a war declared on oppressed communities. It is a war declared on those who fit my demographic. In capitalist America, there is no money for education, but there sure is money for incarceration. America has the largest prison population in the world, disproportionately black and Latino. Black people whose centuries of free labor was not really compensated for, they are repaid for in the jail cells, furthering, slavery. The 13th Amendment allows slavery under the prison system. Yet today, there are more African Americans under correctional control than they said in 1850. But those who laid off, the workers, since the financial crisis are free. Those who made big bucks since the 2008 financial crisis, they walk free. George Zimmerman, a racist killer who defended a gated community. The gated community is a form of new American apartheid, economic apartheid here in America. That's what the gated community is, and that's what George Zimmerman, a racist killer, defended. The Border Patrol, who killed Anastasio Rojas in the West Coast, they walk free. But let's think about this. The NYPD right here, they've killed 7 people since 2012, and it's only May 1st. They will all walk free. Look at them. Ronnie Graham, whose home was invaded, was shot in his bathroom for a bag of weed. They all walk free. The U.S., the NYPD, and all police departments, they are not workers. They do not produce anything except repression. Much like the workers in Haymarket were repressed by the police, today the police oppress our working class and black and brown communities. We must not only take into account the exploited people who sell their labor, but also those who are left out of the market, those who sell drugs, those who sell their bodies, and those who cannot function, those who are unemployed, who cannot sell their labor. The Revolutionary Student Coordinating Committee struggle lies in CUNY, it lies in education. Because education is the only way to liberate ourselves. But our goal is to change the education, give access to everybody. Our struggle is against 40% college graduate unemployment and student debt, the largest debt in the nation. Our struggle is against the board of trustees, a bunch of financiers, some like the chancellor who went to CUNY for free. But today, let us end. Let us resist. Where there's oppression, there's resistance. We are all resisting. Those who labor must rule. We will be victorious in the class struggle. Down with the CUNY Board of Trustees. May the students, the workers, and above all the community rule CUNY. Down with imperialism and down with capitalism. May all oppressed and exploited peoples of every nation rule the world. Thank you.
¿Qué queremos? ¿Qué queremos? Legalización. ¿Qué queremos? Legalización. ¿Cuándo? Ahora. Bueno, ahora tengo el gusto de presentar a nuestra querida compañera Marina Díaz de Guatemala. ¡Viva los pueblos indígenas! ¡Que viva! ¡Feliz Día Internacional de los Trabajadores y Trabajadoras! ¡Que vivan los trabajadores y trabajadoras del mundo! ¡Long live Workers International Workers Day! Este día vengo especialmente a hablar de la problemática que hay en el Departamento de Educación Infantil, el cual nos afecta a todos. Today, I'm going to try to talk a little bit about early childhood education in this country. I've been working at Head Start for the past 17 years, and I never thought that one day my comunidad. This program is taking private corporations, not community corporations as have been doing for the past years, and now the parents are going to be paying some part of the children enrollment. Esto es algo muy problemático. Esto es algo en lo que todos los trabajadores y trabajadoras debemos de estar unidos. We should say no to students' cuts. We should say no to education cuts. One community with no education is a damage for the whole community. Tenemos que seguir peleando por la educación justa de todos nuestros niños y tenemos que decir no a cualquier recorte en contra de la educación. Estamos cansados de que tenemos recortes en salud, cansados en recorte de trabajo, cansados en recorte de educación. Es tiempo que todos los padres se unan en una sola lucha y busquen información para poder encontrar solución a los problemas de los recortes de los niños. Gracias. ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! ¡El pueblo unido jamás será vencido! ¡El pueblo unido jamás será vencido! ¡El pueblo unido jamás será vencido! I want you to take a look around. The crowd just got twice as big in the last 15 minutes. And our numbers are going to keep growing today and beyond today. Our work is not over when May Day is over. I want to introduce our next speaker from the Domestic Workers United, Mercedes Rosales. Give her a round of applause.
Hi everyone, I'm so excited to be here with you today. Estoy muy emocionada de estar con ustedes el día de hoy celebrando el 1 de mayo. ¡Sí se puede!
¡Sí se puede!
¡Se puede! Nosotros en Trabajadoras de Casas Unidas organizamos a las trabajadoras domésticas, a las trabajadoras del hogar, las niñeras, limpiadoras de casas y que cuidan viejitos, y estamos aquí porque tenemos el derecho de reclamar nuestros derechos como trabajadores. Tenemos que unirnos para que nos escuchen en Washington y nos den nuestros derechos y nos respeten y nos den nuestra dignidad. Gracias. Domestic Workers United. ¡Yeah! ¡Sí se puede!
Thank you very much. Next, we actually have a message from Leonard Peltier, who's been one of the longest political prisoners in this country. I'll just go ahead and read his statement for us on May Day. Greetings to my relations, my friends, and to my many supporters the world over. 3 months ago, on February 6th, I marked 36 years since my arrest. During all this time, my family and allies have discovered just how far the government will go to wrongfully convict and imprison someone they know is innocent. They do this as a message, first to Indians, and further to anyone who might stand up to injustice. We Indians said it for generations. If they kill us indiscriminately, they will do it to anyone. If they can take our land, they will do it to anyone. If they can kidnap our children and take them to prison schools, they will do it to anyone. If they can starve us and lie to us, they will do it to anyone. If they can wrongfully imprison us, they will do it to anyone. Now, sadly, this is another Indian prophecy fulfilled. Our ancestors and tribal people all over the world prophesied the time of upheaval and great change. I believe that time is fast approaching. My friends, my relatives, my supporters, be a part of this latest, perhaps the last Indian uprising. Make your voice heard. Be a part of the brave movement to come, the movement that will change the course of human history. Make change and hope and peace and justice a part of your personal legacy. Be the change that you envision and know in your heart must take place. Do this, and on the day you take your last breath and prepare to meet Creator, you will know your life on this earth was well spent. Close your eyes
dijeron antes, va a seguir creciendo. Estoy aquí porque los derechos de los inquilinos son los derechos de todo trabajador. El documentado, el empleado, el desempleado y el indocumentado. Todos unidos, todas las luchas son unidas. Tienen que ser unidas porque todas las luchas nos afectan a todos. Hoy, 1 de mayo, Día del Trabajador Internacional, también se reúne la Junta Reguladora de Alquiler. Hoy, esa junta que no es elegida, que es asignada por al alcalde Bloomberg, hoy votará por aumentar el alquiler. Esa junta tiene la autoridad de bajar la renta, tiene la autoridad de congelar la renta, pero en toda su historia jamás lo ha hecho. En toda su historia, año tras año, es solamente de cuánto va a ser, cuánto más nos van a cobrar. Eso tiene que parar. Y nosotros somos los únicos, el 99% aquí presente, somos los únicos que lo podemos hacer. Hoy yo pido que cuando empecemos a marchar, por favor, si algunos de nosotros podamos parar en el Cooper Union, en el 7 este de la calle 7, donde va a estar la Junta Reguladora votando para subir los alquileres. Habrá también ahí una manifestación, una asamblea general de inquilinos. Ya basta. No más deportación, no más aumento de alquiler. ¡Sí se puede! 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 I'm just going to say a few words in English. It's not going to be a word-by-word translation. Basically, what I have said in Spanish, for those of you that do not speak Spanish, is that tenants' rights is all workers' rights. Whether you're documented or undocumented, whether you're employed or unemployed, tenants are workers. New York is a city of workers. And today, May 1st, International Day, Workers' Day, the Rent Guidelines Board that is not elected, it is appointed by the mayor. They represent the 1%ers. They will vote today to raise our rent one more time. In the history of the RGB, they have never frozen the rent, authority which they have. They have never lowered the rent, authority which they have under their own guidelines. Every year it is just about how much more they're going to increase the rent. How much more are we going to have to pay? This affects 1 million apartments, translated to 2, 3, 4 million tenants. New York City says this is enough. No more rent increases, no more deportation.
¿Cómo estamos, familia? ¿Cómo estamos? Ahora, a ver, ningún ser humano es ilegal. Ningún ser humano es ilegal. Ningún ser humano es ilegal.
Before we move on to our next speaker, I just wanted to announce that on the north side of Union Square, there is May Day Mutual Aid Fair. Mutual aid is a voluntary, mutually beneficial exchange of resources and services. Everyone has something of value to offer in the society. Instead of looking to corporations or the state, we can look to one another for what we need. So please, when you are free, please check out the Mutual Aid Fair on the north side. Our next speaker is Mr. Charles Twist from the National Association of Letter Carriers. Give it up for Mr. Twist.
Happy May Day. There's a crisis in the post office today, but it's a manufactured crisis. Manufactured by the 1% at Wall Street. The post office since 2006 has been overpaying into the retirees' health benefits to the tune of $50 to $75 billion. Yes, that's with a B. Right now, the post office is crying poverty. They don't want anybody to know about this overpayment. They're using this as an attack on the labor force of the post office, forcing us to make concessions. We're planning on closing 3,700 post offices around the country and 250 processing plants. That means 200,000 workers will be losing their jobs. That's a crime. Crime perpetrated by Wall Street and the 1%. We say no. Community and Labor United for Postal Jobs and Services sees this as a united fight between the immigrant rights communities and workers all around the country. It works hand in hand. We say this attack on the unions is an attack from Wall Street. It's racist. Here, as an example, in New York City, 34 post offices are being shut down, 17 in the Bronx, the poorest urban area in the country. How many in the Upper East Side? None. The post office has not received 1 penny from the U.S. government. It's self-sustaining, and if it wasn't run by the fat cats, it'd be making a profit. They want to privatize the post office and bust the unions. This is their plan to privatize everything in this country. But we say the post office belongs to the people. Whose post office? Our post office. Whose post office? Our post office. Happy May Day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Organization founded and run by homeless and formerly hopeless people. Give it up for Kendall Jackman.
Good afternoon. As she said, I'm a federal employee that's now unemployed, and I'm homeless because my house went into foreclosure thanks to a landlord who took out 2 subprime mortgages to buy a new house and didn't pay our mortgage. Picture the Homeless was founded 12 years ago by 2 gentlemen who were living in the Bellevue's men's shelter at the time, who had enough of Giuliani's quality of life laws. We are a member of that organization. Our members are homeless or formerly homeless. One of our campaigns is our housing campaign. Our motto is housing, not warehousing. In 2006, we wrote a piece of legislation titled Annual Census of Vacant Buildings and Lots. And Christine Quinn and the legal team from the City Council whittled 13 pages down to 1 page. That's fine. In 2010, Melissa Motley-Verito introduced the bill into the City Council. It's known as Intro 48. And what it will do is change the city charter and mandate that the city do an annual count of all vacant property in the city. Buildings, lots, private and city-owned. Why? Because as a homeless organization living here in the New York City area, growing up in the New York City area, we know there's more than enough housing before the foreclosure crisis, before the stalled construction crisis, before buildings were built and nobody bought them, that there was more than enough housing that was being warehoused for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So, September 2010, Christine Quinn said that it would cost millions of dollars to implement Intro 48. One of our partners is Dr. Timon Gotti at Hunter College. He's the director of the Community Planning and Development Department. He knew she was wrong. We knew she was wrong. He came up with a base figure of $14,000 to start with. So we sent out 18 Freedom of Information requests to the city. Only 6 agencies responded. All 6 agencies use different software to keep count of what is vacant in the city. So no 2 agencies can share information. Once we took that information to Hunter College, they took out all the duplicates and we had 12,000 listings. We were we're still left with 10,000 after the duplicates were taken out. We used the city's data, Pluto, and plotted the vacancies that they gave us. From that information, we were able to determine the top 20 community boards in the city with the highest vacancy per square mile of vacant property. Now, it's no surprise that my hometown of Bed-Stuy was at the top of the list because it's on the super track of gentrification and foreclosures. And one of the top, one of the top populations going into the homeless shelter comes out of Bed-Stuy. Second is Harlem. So the 20 community boards we use, and Dr. Ngadi wanted to use community boards because they were clear-cut lines. The 20 community boards equal 1/3 of the city. Excuse me. So 295 nice people volunteered last summer. We started June 11th and worked our way through the middle of October and counted block by block, building by building, all 20 community boards. When we were finished and Dr. Ngadi and his team did their thing with the numbers, we found enough vacancies in buildings and lots to potentially house 199,981 people in 1/3 of the city. That means we can close down DHS. The folks who've been living on the street for decades can finally go back home. And those of you who are living doubled and tripled up can get your own space. Now the problem with housing in the city is that the real estate people will tell you that there's not enough supply for the demand. But there is, but they're sitting on it. If they didn't sit on it, they couldn't charge you $2,000 for a shoebox and call it a studio. Our report, Banking on Vacancy, Homelessness, and Real Estate Speculation, is available online on our website as a PDF. So you can download it, send it to your friends, do whatever else you want to do with it. We're trying to go out to all the community boards we counted, to the communities, so you can work with us and get the city to do what they need to do. Because if we found enough housing for nearly 200,000 people in 1/3 of the city, what's left in the other 2/3 of the city? We have a table in the back with our friends at Solidarity Center. You can come visit us. See us online. Thank you. They say God fuck, we say fight back. They say God fuck, we say fight back.
Our next speaker is from Anabayan. His name is Yves Nabungo. He's the chairperson of Anabayan, New York, New Jersey, a youth and student organization working to educate, organize, and mobilize their communities to address important issues that affect Filipinos in the United States and in the Philippines. Anabayan aims to unite Filipino youth of all backgrounds in order to achieve genuine freedom and democracy in the Philippines. Give it up for Yves Nabungo.
Militant and revolutionary greetings, brothers and sisters. Today, we are confronting the biggest enemy of the people and the workers around the globe. Imperialism, as the most rotten and barbaric social system known to humanity, is our enemy. We must be clear that the real enemy of workers, immigrants, women, LGBT, students, youth, and other sectors of society is none other than imperialism. As the global economic crisis worsens, so is state repression. This is NDAA, this is CISPA, Secure Communities, SB 1070, and Stop and Frisk. This comes in the form of more pigs in our communities, more detention centers for our parents, and more invading U.S. troops in our homelands. But brothers and sisters, comrades, Mao Zedong once mentioned that a rotten society, a rotten reactionary system on the verge of extinction always tries to exert its might like a cornered wild beast. It is important that we must realize that we are on the verge of victory. Brothers and sisters, as we stand here today, the people led by the working class are rising up in massive demonstrations around the globe. As we speak today, millions and millions of people and workers are marching to demonstrate the power of the proletariat.
I have no idea.
In the semi-feudal, semi-colonial countries like the Philippines, people are taking up arms. People's armies are growing in numbers and are bound to seize political power from the reactionaries. This is now the challenge to the people, to the working class, and to the youth of the United States. They say that the youth is the hope of the nation, but I want to refute this. You, the working class, holds the power to dismantle this oppressive system that we call U.S. imperialism. Whether foreign or U.S. born, imperialism is our common enemy. As with the youth, we must recognize our role in this great class struggle. Our energy, mobility, and intellect must be directed to serve the people. We must continue to study the revolutionary theories of Marxism, Leninism, and Maoism to pave the way and unleash the full potential and militancy of the mass movement. Brothers and sisters, look at the people next to you, the one in front of you, and look at the people behind of you. Let us commit to each other of building this revolutionary upsurge and fight for a brighter future. Down with imperialism! Long live the proletariat! Long live the struggle for people's democracy and socialism! Long live international solidarity! Thank you!
¡Viva la unidad de la clase trabajadora! ¡Viva la unidad de la clase trabajadora!
Viva! Our next speaker is David Galarza from New York contra el Gasoducto, Trinity Lutheran, and Occupy Sunset Park. Give it up for David Galarza!
Saludos! On behalf of over 8 million proud Boricuas living in Puerto Rico, in the diaspora, decimos presente. Compañeros y compañeras, please repeat with me this command by our great leader and teacher and freedom fighter, Pedro Albizu Campos. Please repeat with me. When tyranny is law, revolution is an order.
Revolution is an order.
I said when tyranny is law, revolution is an order.
Revolution is an order.
I said when tyranny is law, revolution is an order.
Revolution is an order.
Yes, brothers and sisters, tyranny is what we're facing here in our beloved homeland, Puerto Rico. Before Scott Walker in Wisconsin became a household name, Governor Fortunio from Puerto Rico fired 30,000 public sector workers and suspended collective bargaining. Before students rose up at places like the University of California, students at the University of Puerto Rico shut down the campuses in the University of Puerto Rico. And before greedy bankers and oil billionaires tried to slice through the United States with the dreaded Keystone Pipeline, over 30,000 Boricuas said presente in the small mountain town of Adjuntas, Puerto Rico to say hell no to the gasoducto that threatens the lives of hundreds of thousands of people and threatens endangered species and threatens the lives of so many people in our beloved homeland. Yes, my friends, we often say in Puerto Rico and here that if the United States has a cold, Puerto Rico has an pneumonia. And now, even if it's with the blood of our freedom-loving babes. So today, brothers and sisters, we call on all of you to join us in Puerto Rico and join us here in calling for freedom for Puerto Rico, freedom for our political prisoners, freedom for our students who just want to have an education, freedom for our workers who just want to provide for our families, and freedom for our political prisoners who have been languishing in jails in this country for far too many years. Que viva Puerto Rico libre! Que viva Puerto Rico libre! Que viva Puerto Rico libre! Y no al gasoducto. Gracias. Thank you.
representación de todas las jornaleras y jornaleros de Williamsburg. Nosotros diariamente trabajamos en las esquinas, igual que los jornaleros, buscamos el sustento para nuestros hijos, nuestras familias, no le robamos el trabajo a nadie y con orgullo les digo que yo soy una jornalera de Williamsburg y al igual que todas las jornaleras me gano el pan de cada día para mi familia. Y merecemos ser tratados como personas, necesitamos respeto, que no nos traten como ratas, que nos paguen salarios justos y aún así somos discriminados, pagamos taxes y aún así somos discriminados en los trabajos. No nos pagan salarios justos, por eso estoy aquí, para que escuchen mi voz. Y al igual hay tantos trabajadores que no nos escuchan. Estoy yo representando para que me escuchen a mí por ellos. Por eso yo demando un alto a los patrones que roban nuestros salarios, un alto a los patrones que nos humillan, nos acosan sexualmente, nos obligan a trabajar de rodillas, aprovechándose de nuestra necesidad de trabajo. Y yo lo digo porque yo lo he vivido y soy testigo de mis compañeras de Williamsburg, Brooklyn, que pasan esa situación. Demando una reforma migratoria justa, que una familias. Se les digo yo que tengo 15 años sin ver a mis padres. Basta la esclavitud moderna, basta la separación de familias, redadas, leyes antimigrantes. ¡Viva el 1 de mayo! ¡Viva los trabajadores, jornaleros y jornaleras, las organizaciones y naciones! ¡Y viva el 99% de trabajadores! Gracias.
¡Viva los trabajadores! ¡Viva los jornaleros! ¡Viva el 1 de mayo! ¡Somos el 99%!
I am here representing the labor woman and I am here to demand immigration reform to keep the family together, and I am 50 years working at this place without seeing my family, and I think I deserve it. I also say stop to the modern slavery when we as a worker, domestic workers, are working without no benefits and taking whatever the dishes, dirty dishes they throw to us. I'm here to demand to stop the bosses who are stealing our decent salaries, and also they are making us work more than what we're supposed to work, extra hours, long time, without having any fair pay. Also, we are sexually harassed by them, and also they make us work extra time, knowing that we need a job, knowing that our newcomer immigrants, and we need a job to support our family. We are here to demand a legalization for all workers, because I've been working here for so many years, and I think I deserve it, me and all my people. Thank you.
¡Viva el 1 de mayo! ¡Viva! ¡Viva el 1 de mayo revolucionario!
Our next speaker, his name is Ralph Pointer, and he's from the Lynn Stewart Defense Organization, the New Abolitionist Movement.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is a message from Lynn Stewart at Carswell Federal Prison. Now, I'm not going to take 3 minutes. I'm just going to take about 1 minute to tell you what Lynn Stewart says is most important. And I have a young woman here to give you the message in Spanish. Lynn Stewart. 2 warnings to all from my own experience.
Buenas tardes con todas las personas que estamos aquí. Buenas tardes y voy a traducir en español. Dos advertencias para todos de las propias experiencias. Primero, como inmigrante deseoso de ser parte del sueño americano, no se una a la parte de él que dice que puede ser pasar en el color de la piel y pueda avanzar en mi auto por ser racista y por explotación desigual persona a igual de cada grupo de inmigrantes han hecho con mi anterior de otro aviso es para que la gente de color no culpara a los inmigrantes para su difícil situación en la América Blanca.
My other alert is to people of color. Do not blame the immigrants for your plight in white America. They came to work and made themselves indispensable. It is the same old white power structure that exploits both labor and race and racial differences for their own advancement that is responsible. Don't adopt convenient scapegoats when the battle is there to be fought with courage to do so against the true enemy. Remember, today we take a step forward in a unity of purpose. Unity of purpose. And in that unity of purpose, from the Lynn Stewart Defense Committee, I say, I don't need no stinking ID card. And we of responsibility in America who have been here and have witnessed apartheid must be able to say, and ready to say today and every day forward, I don't need no stinking ID card. Repeat after me. I don't need no stinking ID card. I don't need no stinking ID card. From Lynn Stewart, Carswell Federal Medical Prison, look it up on lynnstewart.org and see the rest of the wonderful message to all of the people who have gathered here today and the people who cannot gather here, who will look in their website and learn and join your fight. Thank you.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. People united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. So we have a treat for you. We have a treat for you. We have a cultural performer who's about to join us in a few seconds. But before we move on, I'd like to remind you again that on the north side there is May Day Mutual Aid Fair. So check that out when you're free. I'm about to bring up Jen Waller. Jen Waller is an anti-racist activist with Occupy Wall Street. She writes songs about liberation and against oppression, and she has been organizing for May Day for 3 years. She'll be accompanied by Stephen Jacobs, who founded a not-for-profit called Peace Education Program, a peace education program called Kids Creative, which builds peaceful communities and confident kids through the arts. So help me in welcoming Stephen Jacobs and Jen Waller.
Hi everybody, how you doing? It's so great to see you all out in the streets today. Not at work, not at school, in the streets together. This is a song that Stephen and I wrote. It's about being in solidarity with prisoners, people imprisoned by this racist, oppressive system in this country. So I hope you enjoy it.
Sick, wilted, pain. On the bus, making my way to the island. Handbag full of books, passing dirty looks. Nobody knows where I've been. And yesterday I blew the top off whatever this road I've been walking. If I had my way, I would walk along the bottom, throw my weight in with the forgotten, in and out of the jail. For the boss, for the laws by the hour. Who's the boss and who's the slave? Who makes a wage, who digs a grave? Watching lifetime slip away from the tower. And yesterday I bottom, throw my weight in with the forgotten. Lucky I can leave, but we all spend life on our knees, in the cage or in the maze. Luck's a liar. And yesterday I blew the top off whatever this road I've been walking. If I had my way, I would walk along the bottom, throw my weight in with the forgotten. If I had my way, I would walk along the bottom, throw my weight in with the forgotten. I said if I had my way, I would walk along the bottom, throw my weight in with the forgotten.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone. You look beautiful. Happy May Day.
Thank you so much, Jen and Steven. How are y'all doing? Are we warming up for our 5:30 march? Yeah. The sun is slowly shining on us on May Day. Soak it up when it shows up. Our next speaker, let's just move right along, is from Fight Imperialism Stand Together. She is also a high school activist and a member of Occupy for Jobs. Her name is Dainay Anderson. Help me welcome her onto the stage, Dainay.
Mayday, make some noise! All my young people, make some noise! Hi. First of all, I'd like to thank the May First Coalition for giving me this opportunity to speak to you guys. Never in a million years that I think that from my first May Day 3 years ago that I'd be standing on this stage. And although I'm tired from 5 hours of sleep and doing a paper, ain't nothing gonna stop me from coming to this rally. So I thank you guys. You know, we've seen so much, hypocrisy in the beginning of the year. It's the first 4 months with the death of Trayvon Martin and, all these different things. And it's so great to have, such a solidarity together to, say that we are all workers, no matter if you're undocumented, if you're black, if you're a teenager like me, we're all workers and we're all standing together to fight back for ours. That we deserve jobs, not jails. That we deserve food. That we deserve a proper free education. As we go into high school, as we get out of high school and we go into college, we deserve to have a life to live. And the 1% doesn't give us that. They want to give us, mass incarceration and have thousands and hundreds of thousands of people homeless, and jobless and left to wonder, what's our hope? And I'm here to say that you are all the hope that we need to have a fight back struggle. And say, that we have to stop the deportations and we have to stop all the oppression against the working class. And we have to stop the oppression that youth face every day as black and brown youth going around the streets. You're afraid that you're going to get stopped and frisked. You're afraid that you're not going to be able to make it out of, your situations. And I'm just here to say that we can make a change if we just work hard for it. And so, thank you guys so much. And let's rock it!
a couple minutes. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are the Florida 15 victims of human trafficking by Jose Villanueva, owner of St. Villa Ship Management from Philippines to Florida to different states of America. We were given a job different from the contract that we signed. We were paid below minimum, no overtime pay, delayed salaries, and some of us were not given a job for how many months. Because of this, we experienced sleepless nights, stress, and discomfort. Sleepless nights because we are worried about our families in the Philippines who are relying on our remittances in order to live. Stress because we are working too hard, at the same time we are thinking, when are we going to be paid? Discomfort since we do not know our right as a migrant workers, as Mr. Jose Villanueva took advantage of our needs and abused his power. We already filed a civil case against Jose Villanueva with the help of NAFCON, Bayan, Anak Bayan, Fire, and other government organizations, and our lawyer, attorney Felix Villanueva, to prosecute. But we are still asking for your help, support, and prayers to win this case, to prosecute Mr. Jose Villanueva. I am speaking in front of you not only to open your eyes that human trafficking is happening not only in the Philippines and in the US, but in the whole world, but also to inspire and to encourage those people who were abused to fight for your rights, not only as a worker, but as a human. Mabuhay ang migrantang Pilipino! Mabuhay ang F-15! Stop trafficking our people!
Stop trafficking our people! Stop trafficking our people! Stop trafficking our people! Stop trafficking our people! Before I bring up, thank you so much, Florida 15. We're gonna learn a chant in Filipino, okay? Very easy. It means on with the fight. Tuloy ang laban. Tuloy ang laban. Tuloy ang laban. Tuloy ang laban. Woo! I'm gonna test you on that. It's gonna come back, okay? All right. Our next speaker, his name is Falou, and he's with the Union of African Workers in Senegal. He's the International Relations Secretary and also a coordinator of the May 1st Coalition. Let's give it up for Falou.
Viva Africa! Viva Africa!
Hello. Stop deportation!
Viva Africa!
Stop deportation! Stop deportation!
Stop it!
Stop deportation now! Stop deportation now!
Stop deportation now!
Legalization! We are here today
which I know how to use.
to celebrate a big day, the International Working Class Day. It's a day for union. It's a day for the right to organize. It's a day for our right to work. It's a day for our right to be treated as human beings. We are not illegal. We have been exploited by IMF, by World Bank, by WTO. Globalization is our enemy. Globalization is our enemy. Repeat, globalization is our enemy. Imperialism is our enemy. As immigrants, we are victims. We are all victims of Wall Street. We are all victims of the financial capital, drawing our resources, exploiting our resources, corrupting our governments, making us come to the US, making us go to Europe, making us go to where we think we can make. We are the victims, and we have to stop. It gotta stop. It gotta stop. Viva Mayday! Viva Mayday! Viva the international working class. Thank you.
La clase trabajadora
Carlos Blanco. I'm with Queers for Economic Justice.
The Audre Lorde Project, Queers for Economic Justice, Streetwise and Safe, and the Sylvia Rivera Law Project have united to organize and form a lesbian, gay, bisexual, two-spirit, trans, and gender non-conforming and queer contingent today for solidarity, support, and visibility. Within our community, our organizations have prioritized our work with undocumented folks, low-wage workers, and trans and gender non-conforming immigrants of color, because we know that these are some of our most vulnerable members within our community. We believe that a true worker and immigrant rights movement will not be successful unless these very community members are leading the way.
We believe that every person deserves the right to feel safe and to work and live in an environment free of profiling, regardless of our various identities. Current systems of police surveillance and immigration enforcement utilize racist, homophobic, transphobic, classist, and ableist tactics. Back in October on National Coming Out Day, the LGBTSGNCQ group from across the country, including those making up our contingent today, came out against the Secure Communities program, which further divides and endangers our communities. Today, our community expresses our recommitment to the unified struggle against the multi-layered oppression that targets the most marginalized and excluded groups of individuals.
We call on all of you to join us because our connected movements become stronger together with each and every one of us.
We're gonna end with a chant now. I'll start. Please repeat after me. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Thank you.
Thank you.
Long live the diversity of New York! Long live the diversity of New York! ¡Que viva la diversidad de Nueva York!
All right, our next speaker is Sarah Flounders from the United National Anti-War Coalition. She's also in the Administrative Committee of the International Action Center and a longtime organizer against U.S. wars and racist attacks. Welcome, Sarah.
Viva May Day! Viva May Day! May Day is a day for the most concrete workers' demands against cutbacks. It began with a struggle for the 8-hour day. It's a day also for revolution, really to declare the tearing down of this corrupt capitalist system. It's a day for revolutionary aspirations. It's a day to put our demands against war. Now, what did the Pentagon do today? What's the U.S. message on May Day? Today, they bombed Pakistan. That's the Pentagon's May Day message. So today, when we're here demanding rights for all workers, for all of the oppressed, for all people around the world, we need to know that NATO and that the Pentagon, that's the army of the 1%. And they fight wars abroad, and it's the same tactics that the police use here. When they round up, when they arrest, when they raid, when they put in prisons, the largest prison system in the world, right here. Our unity is our most important weapon. It's our most powerful weapon against the 1%. And we speak with many different voices. We speak with many different tactics, and all of them are important. Together, when we stand, we demand respect. Respect among each other, and we demand respect from the 1%, because we want the end. We want the end of that 1% who wages wars for profit, who takes back from us everything we fight and labor for. Today is a day to say we stand united against the 1%, against the capitalist owners of everything. We stand united with every
every voice and every tactic and every form of struggle against that 1%. We want to resist racist profiling, whether it's in Harlem or against a village in Pakistan. Just in ending, let me say, si se puede!
Si se puede!
Si se puede!
Si se puede!
Viva May Day!
Viva May Day!
The people united will never be defeated.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
Grita, arriba, abajo.
La migra pa'l carajo. Arriba, abajo. La migra pa'l carajo. Arriba, abajo. La migra pa'l carajo.
Our next speaker is Carla Quinones, the director of an NGO in Sunset Park, Brooklyn called Adelante Alliance. Please welcome Carla.
Muy buenas tardes a todos. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming here because we are all together here on May 1st. Estamos aquí reunidos el día del 1 de mayo con toda la gente. Gracias por estar aquí, compañeros. Yo soy directora de una organización de apoyo a inmigrantes, sobre todo en cuanto a educación para adultos. Estamos en Sunset Park porque la educación es una de las partes más importantes que apoya a las comunidades inmigrantes que vienen de Latinoamérica. I am a director of a non-for-profit organization that is based in Sunset Park. We are very proud to bring education to adults, to read, to write, because education, we believe that is one of the keys, the most important key to raise our voice. And Adelante is organizing a series of encuentros to combatir this lack of education on immigrants. Please help me to bring that message here in the 1st of May, that all the immigrants we need to do like have education and encourage all our youth to go move forward and be American and reclaim all our rights as an American, not as an immigrant, because the next generation of immigrants, they are the American here, and that's why we have to help each other, help me to do this, and that's why we're in support of Arizona. We have to fight Arizona because we are with education is the most important. Arizona, we have to immigrate, we have to raise our voice, and Adelante Alliance is with Arizona. Thank you so much. We have a small table in order to bring education, a bilingual education. We're doing a series of pamphlets for $3 to support our community. It's independent media, press media that we're doing to bring in Spanish and English. Just come by to our table. We're helping the education to be bilingual in another more languages.
It's recording.
We want a one world that feeds many worlds. That is the Zapatista message that we just learn from them, from the indigenous in Chiapas. Gracias, compañeros.
Zapata vive, la lucha sigue. 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 Zapata vive, la lucha sigue.
Gracias.
Thank you very much. Before we move on to our list of speakers, we would like to play a song by Mumia Abu Jamal.
As May Day is celebrated by some, others focus on the minor notes played by immigrants, and the song they sing is of anger, hatred, and division. But that's because they're being played by the corporate media, the corporate-driven state, and the siren song of nationalism. May Day should be a day of workers' celebration. But what's there to celebrate today? Joblessness? Foreclosures? Homelessness? May Day would be a day of celebration if workers organized across national borders. Imagine if the UAW joined not only with auto workers in Canada, but in Mexico as well. Wouldn't it be more powerful today than it is? But the crippling of unions can be traced to the NAFTA agreement, the North American Free Trade Agreement, pushed and sold under Bill Clinton, a base betrayal of millions who voted for him from labor to serve corporate greed. NAFTA shipped manufacturing jobs to places where labor was cheaper, like Mexico. It also opened up Mexican markets to U.S. businesses, thus driving those markets out of business and fueling the immigration north.
Good to see you. Hey, Fred. Happy May Day.
All right, that was a message from Mumia Abu Jamal. Free all political prisoners!
¡Viva Mumia!
Viva! Our next speaker is from Occupy for Jobs, Mr. Larry Holmes. Give him a round of applause.
Happy May Day, sisters and brothers. All of you organized labor people, raise your blankets up. I want to salute organized labor, especially those of you who've been fighting to bring back International Workers' Day in this country. I want to salute our sisters and brothers for the Occupy movement. You have opened up a battle against the 1% and their capitalist system, and we are in debt to you. And last but not least, I want to salute the immigrant workers who more than anyone else have helped to bring back International Working People's Day. You know, we must be scaring the 1%. They must be thinking that we're gaining ground and getting stronger. History repeats itself. Any of you know what Haymarket Square means? 126 years ago, which is when May Day began, workers in this country were fighting for the 8-hour day. The 1% in their government wanted to stop that movement and scare us, and so they framed up 8 anarchists, executed most of them on charges of bombing. Can you believe that this morning on May Day 2012, 5 anarchists were arrested in Ohio, set up, framed up on charges of bombing? They're trying to stop us. They're trying to scare us. But we ain't going back. We're going forward. All day, all week, occupy Wall Street. All day, all week,
occupy Wall Street.
All day, all week,
occupy Wall Street. All day, all week, occupy Wall Street. All day, all week, occupy Wall Street. In just a few hours, we're all going to march down Broadway and march to Wall Street and let them know the 99% is united today on May Day. Our next speaker is Antonio Arizaga from the International Migrants Alliance. IMA is a broad international alliance composed of progressive and anti-imperialist migrant organizations of different nationalities. It has more than 108 organizations from 25 countries and composed mainly of grassroots migrants groups. Give it up for Antonio.
Los inmigrantes del mundo entero, hoy estamos en este 1 de mayo para decirles que formamos parte del 99% de los trabajadores que exigimos mejores condiciones de vida. No permitamos que el presupuesto vaya a salvar la banca mientras cierran los hospitales y cierran las escuelas. Hoy los inmigrantes también estamos para exigir una reforma migratoria integral y que cesen las redadas y deportaciones. Los trabajadores inmigrantes contribuimos a este país con nuestro trabajo nación. ¡Arriba la clase trabajadora del mundo! ¡Viva el glorioso 1 de mayo! ¡Viva los inmigrantes unidos!
A ver, arriba. Se me olvidó. Arriba.
Arriba.
Abajo.
Abajo.
La migra pa'l carajo.
La migra pa'l carajo.
Arriba.
Arriba.
Abajo.
Abajo.
La migra pa'l carajo.
All right, we've got another cultural treat for you. I'd like to welcome up to the stage Taos Puso, a singer-songwriter from the Filipino migrant community.
The revolution and resistance in alive in New York City today! Woo! The people united
Will never be defeated.
The people united
Will never be defeated.
The movement's fearless voice is resistance. The revolution is now in our hands. Strengthening the people's struggle. In solidarity we fight and stand. The revolutionaries of our time. With our last breath, we serve the people with our lives. Oh, Casamas, with a fist high in the sky, we will be. Marchan con el pueblo unido, las voces de trabajadores resonando. Resista al imperialismo. Marching to the beats of the chant and the voices of the masses will be resounding. We'll keep fighting. Oh, Casamas, di tayo susuko. See all that is trouble brought by this corporate world. No longer a slave, but a voice to be heard. Inequality's not easy. Just look around. Heads are down, our fists to the hearts, marching to a system that is tearing us apart. Though the mountains are cold, and climbing to be home. Our history's stolen, claimed, and told. We will give our lives, defending our rights to survive and revive our freedom. So join us around. Hundreds have disappeared, and president politically killed. Still growing in strength to freedom's fulfilled. Revolution's not easy, but look around. Heads are high, our fists to the sky, fighting oppression, a revolution inside. Though the mountains are cold, we'll climb defending our rights to survive and revive our freedom. So join Mayday, join us, arise.
¡Viva la juventud del mundo! Un aplauso para estos jóvenes que son el futuro de nuestra humanidad. Y para recordar que viva África, la lucha de los pueblos africanos. Que viva la lucha de los pueblos europeos. Que viva la lucha de los pueblos de Asia y Oceanía. Que viva la lucha del continente norteamericano. Que viva la lucha del pueblo norteamericano. Que viva el continente americano. A ver,
Okay.
de norte a sur, de este a oeste, ganaremos esta lucha, cueste lo que cueste. Vamos, de norte a sur, de este a oeste, ganaremos esta lucha, cueste lo que cueste. Parece que ahora tienen que comer taquitos porque están medio con hambre.
Next up in our program is Mr. Kazem Azin, and he's from Solidarity with Iran C. Give it up for Kazem.
Long live the working class of the world! Without the working class, there would have been no war. Just look around and see how much work this class has done. And look at Wall Street, you only see blood. You see the massacre of the people of Iraq, Pakistan, Palestine, Lebanon, and all over the world, Afghanistan. This is what comes out of the Wall Street. And look at Manhattan, look at the building, look at the volume of the work that working class has done. And they had taken the world away from us. We have to take it back. This is our war, and we will take it back. I just came back from Iran. People in Iran said that the working class of the United States, you are 30 years ahead of us because you were the one who found out who the 1% is. And we're going to join you as soon as possible. Long live the 99%. We have to get the 1% down. We have to seize the power. Long live Mayday. Long live working class.
Long live international solidarity! Long live international solidarity! Long live international solidarity! This country wouldn't function without its workers. This world wouldn't function without its workers. This day is for you. I'd like to bring up our next speaker, Michelle Salon from the National Alliance for Filipino Concerns. She's the Northeast Coordinator of NAFCON, a national multi-issue alliance of Filipino organizations and individuals in the United States, serving to protect the rights and welfare of Filipinos by fighting for social, economic, and racial justice and equality. Michelle is also a coordinator of Kabalika Domestic Workers Support Network, a program of Philippine Forum. Welcome, Michelle.
Estamos luchando. Nuestras armas son la verdad y la justicia. Sigamos luchando. Kami lalaman. Sigaw ay katarungan. Sandata ay katotohanan. Tuloy ang laban.
Tuloy ang laban.
We the workers who have worked in industries, who've taken care of the elderly, the ill, the babies, who've worked several number of lives. We have been forced to work outside our homeland just because of the corporate greed was been harassing, exploiting all the Filipino workers and all the international workers all around the world. With that said, mabuhay ang migranteng Pilipino, mabuhay ang uling manggagawa. Si se puede! 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 Let's bring up that Filipino chant again. Do you remember? It means on with the fight. Tuloy ang laban! Tuloy ang laban! Tuloy ang laban! We're gonna get that baby.
Viene llegando gente, así que después van a tener que achicarse más, porque más tarde la naturaleza nos dio el sol, y qué lindo el día, un aplauso a la naturaleza que nos está ayudando a que esta marcha sea gigante, y viva la unidad de todos los grupos este 1 de mayo que marcharemos hacia Wall Street.
All right, our next speaker is Bill Juarez from the International League of People's Struggle. He's the vice chairperson for external affairs of the International League of People's Struggle, an anti-imperialist and democratic formation that promotes, supports, and develops the anti-imperialist and democratic struggles of the people of the world against imperialism and all reaction. Welcome, Bill! Si se puede!
Long live May Day! On behalf of the International League of People's Struggle, our chair, Professor Jose Maria Sison, and our 200-member organizations in 43 countries, I bring greetings on this great day, International Workers' Day.
Si se puede!
A day that was born in blood in the streets of Chicago, where workers fought and died for the 8-hour day. So today, workers all over the world march in their memory for the rights of the working class. Who were those workers who fought and died in Chicago and were hanged so that we all could have the 8-hour day? Most of them were immigrant workers, and they were demonized for that. And it was immigrant workers who revived May Day on a massive scale around the United States in 2006. So today, on International Workers' Day, we march for the rights of immigrants, and we say, no deportations, no raids, no to ICE. Every worker has a right to be here.
That's right!
Who was it who murdered those workers on the streets of Chicago 126 years a day and beat them and shot them and hanged them? The cops, the courts, the state, the same forces of terror who today terrorize the black and Latino communities of color, who murder young men like Ramarley Graham and elders like Kenneth Chamberlain, who beat and attack the heroes of Occupy Wall Street. So today on May Day, we march to say no to police brutality, no to repression and terror, and call for an end to the harassment and detention of our Muslim brothers and sisters, and for the freedom of our political prisoners like Mumia Abu Jamal.
Si se puede!
Let us never forget that the government, the U.S. government, the next time someone waves a flag and talks about our government and our interests, it was the government of the United States that hanged workers for fighting for the 8-hour day. The Haymarket martyrs were hanged on November 11th, 36 years to the day after they hanged another great labor leader, Nat Turner, the freedom fighter against slavery. And just a few years before they massacred, the May Day massacre, they betrayed the black people fighting for freedom by destroying Reconstruction. They did that because they served The 1%, this government is the government of monopoly capital. 4 years after May Day, they massacred the Lakota people at Wounded Knee because this is the government of monopoly capital. And 8 years later, they invaded the Philippines and Cuba and Puerto Rico, which marked the advent of the United States as an imperialist power. Imperialism is another word for monopoly capitalism. It is the government of the 1%. That's who they serve when they invade Iraq and Afghanistan and bomb Libya and threaten Iran. Because the bankers on Wall Street plunder not only the working class in this country, they plunder the workers in Haiti and the Philippines and South Africa and all over the world. They're our power. The only way we can fight them is with international solidarity. So long live May Day! Long live international solidarity! Workers and oppressed people of all countries, unite! We will win! We will win with international solidarity when we march together as one global class. Thank you.
Long live international solidarity! Long live international solidarity! Our next speaker is Roberto Bravo, the president of Partido Socialista USA Canada. Give it up for Roberto.
Buenas tardes, compañeros y compañeras. Reciban un cordial saludo a nombre del Comité Socialista de los Estados Unidos y Canadá, del Partido Socialista Frente Amplio. No podía ser menos que el 1 de mayo, nuestro partido con 86 años de historia y encarnado en la clase obrera ecuatoriana, está ausente de este acto. Por tal motivo, estamos en respaldo al movimiento obrero ecuatoriano que en la actualidad está protestando por los despidos a mediados de año de más de 5.000 empleados públicos. También pedimos y estamos en solidaridad con la no explotación minera a cielo abierto. Pedimos la nacionalización de los recursos naturales del Ecuador y la explotación por el Estado ecuatoriano. Igualmente, pedimos una rectificación del gobierno del compañero Rafael Correa y que se encamine al verdadero socialismo revolucionario. Segundo, queremos expresar nuestra solidaridad. Muchos de ustedes sabrán que hoy hay 200 millones de trabajadores desocupados en Europa. Esa es una cifra muy alarmante que debe invitarnos a reflexionar y a despertar nuestro espíritu de combate y movilización con la clase obrera. Gracias y buenas tardes.
¡Viva el 1 de mayo! ¡Que nos escuchen en todo el mundo! ¡Viva el 1 de mayo! Día Internacional de las y los Trabajadores. ¡Viva el Día de los Inmigrantes! ¡Viva el Día de las Inmigrantes! Un saludo desde las entrañas del monstruo a todos los estudiantes, mujeres y hombres que luchan en Chile y Latinoamérica por tener una educación gratuita, y aquí en los Estados Unidos los jóvenes que luchan por tener una igualdad y por tener educación gratuita. Saludo y aplauso a todos esos jóvenes que luchan.
Our next speaker is Monica Moorhead from the International Women's Alliance. Give it up for Monica!
Long live May Day! I want all of the sisters to put your fist up in the air. All of the women and sisters, put your fist up in the air. All around the world, May Day is celebrated on every continent and all around the world. And it's women who are leading the struggle of around so many issues. Because sisters and brothers, every issue is a women's issue. Every issue is a women's issue. issue. I'm wearing my Justice for Trayvon Martin shirt because Trayvon Martin is all of our sons. He is our brother, and we will continue to fight not only just for justice for Trayvon Martin, who was shot down not by one racist vigilante, but he was shot down by racism, by racist profiling, like Sean Bell, like Ramali Graham, like Eleanor Bumpers, Amadou Diallo, sisters and brothers. Fighting racist profiling is a women's issue, just like fighting against homelessness, fighting against unemployment, fighting against the lack of health care, fighting against the attacks on reproductive justice. These are all women's issues. These are all working class issues. We must continue to fight and organize and unite in solidarity with those sisters who can't be with us today, like Sister Lynn Stewart, like Sister Cece McDonald, like Marissa Alexander, who was a victim of the Stand Your Ground law in Florida when she defended herself against domestic violence, and she is facing 20 years in prison for defending herself, a black woman. We must continue to unite and fight against the war on women. That's right, that's right. That Wall Street is perpetuating against all of us. So, long live International Workers' Day, long live International Women's Day, long live the workers' struggle. Let's continue to fight against capitalism until it's no longer in existence. We need to fight for human needs, not for capitalist greed. Thank you.
Yes, sí se puede. Sí se. Arcimiliano Martinez and Joanna Ocaña from the Justice Will Be Served campaign, which organizes service workers to challenge long hours, forced overtime, low wages, and other sweatshop conditions, as well as to demand better enforcement of labor laws, the right to a 40-hour work week, end to tip stealing, and the repeal of destructive anti-worker legislation like the employer sanctions provision. Welcome, Emiliano and Joanna. Yay!
Bueno, muy buenas tardes a todos presentes aquí. Mi nombre es Emiliano Martínez.
My name is Emiliano Martinez.
Miembro de EMAS, Movilización Nacional contra la Explotación.
I'm a member of National Mobilization Against Sweatshops.
Estoy aquí para hacer historia de un grupo de trabajadores de Yes Car de allá de condado de Flushing.
I want to quickly tell you the story of the Yes Car workers who were organizing in Flushing.
El dueño de este Yes Car es un patrón explotador que contrató a agentes federales para arrestar a estos trabajadores por reclamar sus derechos.
The Yes Car boss paid off federal agents to arrest workers who were organizing.
Y es muy común lo que sufrimos todos los trabajadores de restaurantes, supermercados, hoteles y otros.
All service workers, workers in restaurants, in grocery stores, we're all in danger of this.
Creo que es hora de sacar esta ley que fue decretada en el 86, que es muy mala, la ley de esclavitud.
In 1986, there was employer sanctions provision passed. We need to repeal this modern day slavery law.
Por lo mismo queremos derechos iguales.
We want equal rights now.
Nosotros no estamos en contra de coaliciones y otras organizaciones que están pidiendo reforma migratoria, sino hay que limpiar, estar muy claro para pedir el estatus migratorio si acaso se pueda.
We need to be clear. Legalization is not enough. It's not that we do not want it, but it will only divide workers more. What we want is that this system give us all equal rights, regardless of our status.
Y esto será un mensaje para el presidente Barack Obama.
A message for President Barack Obama.
Trabajadores unidos jamás será vencido.
The workers, united, will never be defeated.
Gracias, es todo.
Thank you. Sí se puede. 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 Our next speaker is Bernadette Ellerin from Bayan, USA, the National Alliance of Progressive Filipino Organizations.
The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated. Magandang hapon sa ating lahat. Good afternoon from Bayan, Philippines. Sisters and brothers, on behalf of the trade union movement in the Philippines, we salute all the workers who came out today to fight against exploitation, to fight against fascism, to fight for legalization. Sisters and brothers, do not be deceived by the numbers you see. Today, we are billions around the world. No matter what the media reports, we are billions around the world. We are bigger than the capitalists. We are bigger than the 1%. We always have been, and we always will be. Sisters and brothers, we're living in a time of grave, protracted economic crisis. And we are all trying to survive this crisis. But the difference between the people and the capitalists is that the capitalists caused the crisis. We did not cause this crisis, and yet we are suffering, and we have to pay for it. Sisters and brothers, immigrants, undocumented immigrants can tell you that they did not choose to come here. They know from experience the reality of economic sabotage. They are economic refugees of imperialism. And if we do not link and raise our struggles here in the U.S. as workers, as people of color, against racism and LGBTQ discrimination, against sexism, if we do not link it with the broader struggle against imperialism, then our struggles are narrow and they will not win. We must link and raise and link with international solidarity around the world. So around the world, brothers and sisters, there are so many inspiring struggles against imperialism, and we must unite with them. We must build a united front against U.S. imperialism. The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated. Maraming salamat. Thank you very much.
¡Viva el Día Internacional de los Trabajadores! ¡Viva el Día Internacional de las Trabajadoras! Y ahora tengo el orgullo de presentar a un querido compañero, William Camacaro, de los Círculos Bolivarianos, artista y activista de la comunidad, en solidaridad con la República Bolivariana de Venezuela. ¡Viva la lucha de Venezuela!
I'm very happy to be today here and to see that the weather is getting better and better, and to see that because the weather is getting better, more people will be involved today on May 1st, and this is going to get better and better. So I'm here today just to talk about what's going on in Venezuela. We can see that in Europe and here in the United States, people are losing their benefits, people are losing their jobs. But we can see that in other parts of the world, something different is happening. In a small country in South America, where the United States had organized a coup d'etat,
Malta in 2002, and a so-called strike by the oil executive of the oil industry in Venezuela that cost more than $10 billion to the country. And that small country, Venezuela, in that country that has been under attack, that has been constantly receiving threats from the United States, from the Bush administration, under this administration, Obama administration. In that country, just yesterday, the Venezuelan government passed a labor law, a new labor law that provides much better salary to the workers, that provides more vacation to the workers, that provides feeding houses for the workers. So what we can see is that while Obama is signing different laws to incarcerate people without trial, without charge, indefinitely, when Obama is passing laws that to expel, to deport people from the United States, immigrants, when Obama is passing laws to repress people in this country, to torture this country, we still have Guantanamo here in Cuba, and this government and this administration is also exercising the torture. So when Obama is doing this, we are seeing a government that is doing something completely different in this continent, that is providing food to the countries, to the people, that is also opening houses, feeding houses to the people, where more than 6 million people are eating free in the country. So what I'm saying is that this year we have an election on October 7th, and this government is threatening the Venezuelan government. And it's threatening the Venezuelan government because the Venezuelan government is using their money to help the poorest people of the country. That's why we, that has been suffering here in the United States, all the neoliberal policy, we should try, we should do, we should organize and defend the Venezuelan process, and the Venezuelan process is also a Latin American process. Thank you.
¡Viva